How do you feel about the California Supreme Court's decision, and what do you think the Obama administration should do on the question of same-sex marriage?
Well, look, I think, my family's been very clear about this, that we think freedom means freedom for everybody, and that this is an issue that states have to decide for themselves. I think that, in California you had a situation where the citizens of the state spoke, and the court, it's an interesting juxtaposition in some ways to some of the discussion we're seeing about the nomination of Judge Sotomayor. The court in that case, you could tell, sort of went to great lengths to say, although we personally might not agree with this decision, our role in this is to uphold the law. And in California, the citizens of California, passed Proposition 8. So I think that, not just on this issue of gay marriage, but on the broader issue of, what is the appropriate role of the judiciary, it's a question that I think all Americans are going to be looking at over the coming weeks as we look at Justice Sotomayor's confirmation.
If you weigh in on the same-sex marriage issue, you're a supporter of same-sex marriage?
Well, I think that states have got to make this decision. This is something that ought to be up to states. I certainly would not like to see a constitutional amendment, as was suggested in the last administration, banning it. I think it's an issue that the democratic process has got to decide. And I think that, people ought to be able to make arrangements.
But you're not willing to say that you're a clear-cut supporter of same-sex marriage? For some reason, I thought you were. You were not?
I think it's important, Carlos, for people to be able to make this decision on a state-by-state basis. But I do think that partners ought to be able to make arrangements. I think, I applaud, for example, the State Department decision to extend benefits to same-sex partners around the world. I think that it's wrong to discriminate in those relationships based on somebody's sexual preference.